Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. So we have been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And when he, which we're going to talk about later, when he opened up his grand opening for his business, that's not far from here.
Yeah.
I was like, do you know my radio show is right down the
Sure
street?
didn't.
So we're going to like walk.
Yeah. I almost did it one too
Yeah.
cold.
So let's get in and dive into this. I want everybody to know, please make sure you share the video and continue to just support us each and every Tuesday. Again, at 6:15, we're going to be here spotlighting some great people in the community. I think you may be, I don't know, I got to look through everything, but you might be the first one to talk about financial empowerment.
Okay, great.
If I'm wrong, I'll kind of go back, but I'd love to hear that. More of that to help our community as well. Okay. But what kind of got you started? Because you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I have.
So let's talk about you. So let people know about yourself.
Well, actually, my dad had a tax practice.
Okay, well then
I was exposed to it. He had it for 15 years from 1989, 2004, 2000. I actually started working for him.
Okay.
Worked for him for 5 years, and then 2005, my dad decided he didn't want to do taxes anymore. So I actually, took over the tax practice and pretty much, groomed it for that. But that's what I got my degree in. I got my bachelor's in accounting because I was pretty much exposed to it. And what I learned with taxes is that in and everything that you do, taxes implications are involved with it.
Everything.
You buy a house, you start a business, when you have a baby. Even when you pass away, there's some tax implication about it. So,
absolutely.
But it was important in the field and the need to be. But I got into the financial planning field as well. So, while I was in school, I started also working at Mass Mutual Financial Group as a financial planner and financial advisor. So, got insurance license, got investment license, then also got advisor license. Was there for a couple of years. Then, like the selling quota, meeting product is not the reason why I got into the field. I'm real big on financial planning, financial education, financial advice.
Just finance. Look, the J should be another one.
Yeah, so
it should be the F.
In '05, when I took over my dad's practice, I left and started my independent financial planning practice. And built upon that, I worked for some accounting staffing firms doing bookkeeping, payroll, taxes. Did that for years, and after that, incorporated those services within my practice as well. So that's what we do. Work a lot of small businesses, nonprofits. Do bookkeeping, payroll, taxes, and make sure that business runs efficiently and effectively. But not just from the business finance, but also want to help with their personal finance as well, getting that in order. So help to put together a budget and a plan and establish that foundation so they can.
I need to link up. I just need to link up with you.
Of course, I got you. But it's about just building not that wealth, but just building that generational wealth within clients in our communities. But it starts with internally within the family. So that's pretty much what it is.
Generational wealth. That right there is just like empowerment in itself.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of things we don't
but
even
it's lacking within our community.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot of things that we don't even just teach one another. We don't pass down.
We don't, and it's not in our school system either.
Oh yes.
I mean, let's just look. Let's just keep it real. We're not taught financial literacy in school. We're not.
Maybe
taught
for a week, just to say they did it.
Yeah,
but
that's checking that box.
Yeah,
that's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times we don't learn it at home. So I took it as my responsibility to financial empower the community. That's why I do my financial empowerment, financial literacy workshops. I have a nonprofit too. Well, that's where we do our workshops.
What's the name of?
Financial Empowerment Movement.
Okay.
So with that, we do financial literacy workshops, whether it's entrepreneurship, home ownership, workshops, and we do government contracted workshop. We do financial literacy for kids.
So when's the next? Because I did.
The next workshop is actually going to be in May. Going to be a government contractor workshop. So I'm actually also, for 5 years, I was a government contractor for me. So I actually did financial and small business workshops for military soldiers actually transitioning out. Right now, I still do some of the workshops, not as much because I'm back in Baltimore. But so next week I'm doing a boosted business workshop. So taking off your boots, starting your business. So I do that for.
Awesome.
Military, soldier. But yeah, that's our next workshop is government contractor workshop. Teach people how to bid and win government contracts. That's part of growing your business. And we also do real estate investor workshops as well. Because I also do some real
So
estate.
we just basically need to link up and do something together, you know, because this is good. And
Yeah.
I remember when I was at Mervo, which there's some more things going to be going on. I'm really excited to put it out one of these days. But one of the things we were doing were, I mean, everything from wills, you know, talking about living wills, talking about, you know, your budget, just anything that the school wasn't teaching. And since being on elected for the State Central Committee, just talking about voter education. I mean, these are just the things that are not being taught in the schools. And it's okay to talk about it. Like a living will, a lot of people shy away from it, even the older people.
Yeah.
You know, I know some that have passed and didn't even have a will, and they have homes and they have things, you know, assets. So we need to make sure that we talk about this and we make it comfortable and we make it fun to learn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So we definitely got to link up on that. Now I kind of went to, I know it was taxes, but you just talked about everything else that was going on, and that's really good because that was my other
of course
question there. And now I wanted to know. Now, I know that you know, we talk about the empowerment for the community.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of want to go to right now. So you have had this, you know, since your father, you said that kind of helped you, and then knowing the absence of not having that in the community, right? And I also just looked at, since I said State Central Committee, I looked at that you ran for State Central Committee as well as City Council.
Yeah,
so you're definitely diving into this all the way around. I don't know if it's something you're going to be doing in the future, or if you want to talk about it or not, but I do know that this was in the past. And what kind of motivates you to even try to get into, politics, period? Not even try, but to get into politics.
Poverty. Which is going on within our. I think that was and the thing there were a lot of policies in place that have created poverty. Within our communities. And you think about when I ran in 2015, 16. Now we're in close to 2020. That's still going on today. So that's the reason why I got into poverty and inequality. I had a problem with seeing the have and the have-nots, seeing too many impoverished neighborhoods within our communities. And I'm a type of person, I don't whine, I don't complain. I'm gonna do something about it, and you know, and get involved. So you know, in 2015, I decided to, you know, run for city council so we can make real change within our communities. You know, so because everybody wants to live and have the American dream. Right? Everybody wants to have that. But I wanted to be a part of everybody be able to experience that, and I didn't see that people experience that within our community. You know, growing up in, you know, Park Heights and, you know, so I mean, let's give it a prime example. People were talking about Pimlico Racetrack.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Talking about Pimlico Racetrack right
Born
now.
And raised,
trying to save it. So you know, grew up on the one side, now I live on the other side. Now I live in Forest Ave now. So this. You know, crossing 5, 6, 7 minutes and just seeing the difference of the quality of life within our communities. I have a problem with the way it is. You know, I'm very blessed to live middle class, but not everybody lives middle class within our city, and I have a problem with that. So, because I want everybody to at least live middle class and have the best of schools and education, and I just want to see that across the board. So that's what motivated, inspired me to get involved with the political process, because it's a very important process, and we don't realize how important that is to, you know, to get involved, to get out and vote, and you know, to get.
Some days I'm ready to tear my hair out, but it's important when I have to keep on being reminded, like you're doing something that's going to be very impactful.
Yes, it is.
You know, and even like when I was going in for State Central Committee, they were like, you were the last on the list out of 17. The thing about it is, win, lose, or draw, it's bringing awareness.
It's getting involved.
It's getting involved. It's bringing awareness, because half the people didn't even know what State Central Committee was.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Now I see so many people more involved in politics. I mean, definitely not where we should be, but definitely not where we used to be. And that's a good accomplishment, because they're listening. They're listening to that. You spoke of Falstaff. Can we just say right here, we go back to Falstaff Middle School. Whoop, whoop. And
middle school, you know it.
Yes. I lived on that side of town, grew up, and when you spoke on even just the Preakness, let's just be real, it has never been to help the other side.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest. And what is it going to be different now? You know, and that was when I got it. When I looked at it, I was like, I'm not touching it. But let's just be real. Anyone that grew up in that area or that time, it has been that way. We have not gotten everything we're supposed to get. But then you go to the other side and have everything.
Yes, it does.
And we have to. And so I thank you for even talking about, you know, the have and the have-nots because it's real.
It's divided.
It's real, and it's not just that neighborhood, but it's all
over.
Yeah, it's all over. So so kudos to you for being involved and not even stopping, but still going forward and still trying to do empowerment for our community and Black owned. You know, like all of that. You are doing a lot of great things.
Oh, I appreciate it.
We just want to appreciate you on that one. I also see, you know, I kind of did some little homework.
Did you?
Hey, you posted it.
Uh-oh.
So I want to say congratulations as well because look, he's looking over like, what did she read?
Sorry,
I did see your post that you are State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby's treasurer.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm very honored that she asked me to be a part of her campaign. Things of that nature. She's doing great things in the community. I've always been a supporter of what she's doing. She's been through a lot, you know, with, you know, the things that she's, you know, done. So just her asking me, you know, to help out and be a part of her campaign and making sure the finances are right. And, you know, you just can't trust anybody with your money.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, so things of that nature. So her and Nick has always been clients of mine. And I've known Nick since rec ball, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we played against each other in rec ball, played against each other in high school. So known him for a long time and got a chance to know and love, you know, Maryland, have a great family. So anything that she's trying to do in the community, I told her, you know, they're here to help out. So it's, you know, it's an honor.
Good. So yeah, when I saw it, I was like, you know, my little antennas. I'll leave it alone for the show, but we got to get her on here too. So definitely got some things that we want to talk about in the community. Yeah. I love the fact that I think it was I don't know if it was on one of your logos or campaign logos, but it was building wealth in our communities.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that, you know, despite you saying, you know, where you are now, you didn't forget.
Yeah.
I made a post and said, I will never forget where I came from. I think that's so important to not, you know, go off, do X, Y, Z, and not even come back to give back.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is definitely the reason, one of the main reasons that we wanted to spotlight you and let others know what you're doing in the community. Yeah,
I mean, I think the blessing is more in the giving than the receiving.
Oh, yes.
And just to, you know, be lucky to be where I'm at. I can't just think about, okay, where I'm at. I got to think about there's other people that are not doing well, you know, they're struggling. And how can we help empower and inspire them from a socioeconomic, but most important, it's from a spiritual, amen. Come on.
Amen.
From a spiritual standpoint, that's what it's also. How can we help them? And in the day, we're trying to get into God's kingdom. We got to help other people. We can't be thinking about where we at and what we have, but the impact and the difference that we make in lives of other people. So in the day, I just try to tell people I'm just trying to do what God has called me to do and do His will, you know.
Look at that. Amen. We about to shout right now.
Amen.
That's why I said that whole building wealth and our community. Like, that was just so powerful to me because it shows you're not worrying about just Sharif and your family. And kudos to you. You got married. Look, he did so much.
Can I shout out my baby, my beautiful wife, Alicia?
Yes.
I believe she's listening. Best decision I ever made was marrying my beautiful wife.
Oh,
she's been very supportive.
Yes.
And things of that nature. So this is our second year in. Hitting May,
awesome.
Be 2 years has truly been a blessing. I just thank her because you know a lot of times it's hard to you know trying to get things done, and it's very good to have a good support system.
Yeah,
and I appreciate support and sacrifice because it's a sacrifice being with someone.
Listen, I'm trying to
me, you know it is. So I appreciate and love her for that. Yeah.
It's definitely a sacrifice when you're like poured in a lot of directions. Like you said, you're doing your accounting and you know, doing taxes for people.
And when we met, I was running for office when we met, so you know it was a challenge. You know, she had a life decision to make.
I'm so is she in the same like in politics?
Oh no, she can't.
No? So it's just a balance. That's a good balance then.
But she supports me because she knows my heart.
Yes.
And my spirit. But other than that, she doesn't like being, which I don't blame her. You know?
Yeah. I know when I first got into it, I was like, I don't think I want to get into it. And then when I, like I said,
it's a sacrifice.
Yes. The primary elections, I was just like, some limitations are there. What can I do to do more? And that's why, if anyone saw a show last week, and thank y'all to everybody that tuned in. I was looking at the views and just the comments, but I did officially announce we're still going to do our official official announcement, where you're going to hear on my platform. You'll be able to pour into our campaign. But I did make the announcement on the show last week.
Congratulations,
to you. I had to do it because everybody was saying stuff already, so I just wanted to So somebody had posted a video, and they were like, "Our future councilwoman," and then another person said something mayor, and I was like, "Oh no."
I'm very proud of you. It takes a lot to do it. You definitely have a heart for the community. I've known you for not years, but for decades. But I see the great stuff that you've been doing, and so I expect nothing to continue great things in the future as well. So
thank you. All
congratulations, proud of you.
Thank you.
Fall staff.
Fall staff. Look, let me tell you, I didn't put you in the fall staff alumni group. I haven't been in there. We gotta bring some excitement over there to the group. So yes, fall staff people are doing some great things. We won't do the high schools because then.
It gets the
we had Diamond K shouting out the Edmondson. I said, hold, we don't do no other schools but Maryville. Sorry for us part. but we are Baltimore.
That's
so
right. B City.
One love.
Also, I appreciate you coming to my grand opening as well.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm trying to figure out. I know I had 50 million things going on. I don't even remember what I did before or after. But I said, listen, we were just talking about before when it started airing, but that Google Calendar does some wonders.
Yes, it
does. It reminded me. It said, I was like, oh, okay, let me turn the call back around. So, we got to make sure that balance is there, making sure that we support one another. Even if, there are times where I'm sure I can't get everywhere, but I think showing your face here and there, or it's just a message, you let people know that you are definitely, watching. So, having a show every Tuesday is a sacrifice, but it's like it's already on my, on my schedule. So it's something that we want to do. Yeah. So I do know. So the things that we just talked about. What are any upcoming ventures that are going on?
In the process of buying a 4-unit apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to close and everything. We have 1 unit we're trying to get inspected. So I was blessed to be able to. It's on Linden Avenue. Was able to win an auction and made a partner of mine. So it's already fully leased. So plan on, having a full.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's, like I said, do a little bit of real estate. So that's one of the main things on the agenda. And then the other thing is.
How long have you been doing the real estate?
A couple of years.
Oh, really?
See, I
didn't know about that part.
Yeah, so even the office, I bought the office building. So the second unit, I'm looking to get that rented out. So that's another project, Have people coming to apply, just gotta have the stuff together.
Yes.
Like you say, you got a business, but you're not even registered with the Department of Assessment and Taxation. I can't even find you. Yeah, you can't even sign a lease and you put the name on there. So,
but that's where you're gonna help and you're gonna do the empowerment because you gotta
so
show.
I've actually had people come where they more so became a client than a tenant. Like you ain't ready to be a tenant, you gotta be a client first. Yes. Then we can really. Cause my thing I talking about in a couple of years, I want you to buy your own building too. Yeah. But so to do that, you gotta have stuff in order. You gotta have your statements, your books and all that stuff. In order, and I think that's what it comes down to building wealth. Like we have to own wealth building assets. Like we have to have something that we can pass on to our kids and grandkids. That's why I wanted to own my building. I didn't want to rent it. Why? Because now, I have something I can leave to my kids and grandkids. It's called inheritance, and that's what we lack. And that's why we have lack of wealth. When we think of the wealth that we have, is that negative? It's not even zero. Is that negative? Why? Because overall, a lot of things we just don't, we don't own, and that's where we need to get to, owning our stuff and building our communities and be able to pass down generational wealth to our kids and grandkids.
I think even when we talked about the have and have-nots, the Preakness, whatever, that community, right? when we talked about that, that is the main thing that is missing. From that, no investment. When you
Yeah.
see the stores, they're not us.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
We'll spend, but we don't own.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
spend.
Oh,
Our
oh, we
spending power
spend.
is trillions.
Yes, we
But
spend.
own is in the negative.
So I looked at it one time. I did a video and I was just riding down Park Heights, and I probably started maybe closer to Falstaff, and I went all the way down maybe Shirley or something, and I just showed the difference.
Oh yeah, you'll see it.
Things that are just not in one community, and the other one has multiple, and like you said, we invest in it, in these things.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of like we moved there in I think what 50s, 60s, nothing but George, and then they moved up and 70s, 80s when my grandparents they bought a house and they moved in there, and then around 85, 90, the crack epidemic came. So the grandparents died away, and whoever they left it to, unfortunately, was ever dead or in prison or strung out. So, unfortunately, a lot of our properties became, became vacant. So that's like the lost generation right now. So it's like now, how do we take that back? That's what collectively, one family at a time, but we got to work together and take control of within our communities.
Together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's prayer on that one.
Yeah, we got to pray on that one.
Yeah.
So with the show, RTV stands for Restoring the Village. That's our main thing we push, is that unity, that working together. There's been a lot of struggles there, and I would love to one day, when we talk about building communities, we talk about that village. We definitely cannot miss that. Sometimes we are our And I say,
sometimes
I'm saying we as a collective, but
we
we
gotta
could
take ownership.
Yes, we have to take ownership. That sometimes it's some things that we can do on our own, and things that we can change. So it is very important to talk about the finance and talking about investment and things that are allowed. Maybe some of the things can be changed if we get in position.
That's true.
Whatever it is, in the office, starting a business, whatever it is. Yes. We have to be there at the table, So.
We do. We have to take ownership of our, communities when it comes to our neighborhoods and even our school system. Like, it's very important. That's the quality of life of, the foundation. A lot of times you're going to buy a house because of the school system, because of the neighborhoods and things of that nature. And in the city, unfortunately, we lost too many of our populations because of the lack thereof. But the taxes are high. So how do we bring people back? The goal within the next year is to come from being a real estate investor to being a real estate developer. So instead of, buying houses here and there, but buying blocks, rebuilding them, and providing affordable housing.
So let me ask you, just because you said affordable housing and that you're in real estate, what are some things that people can do now? Because I know before they used to have the dollar. Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have
They're
that.
trying to bring it back. Okay. I haven't heard anything since then.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, what programs are out there that someone could take advantage of?
Yeah.
That?
So like my wife, she works for a title company.
Okay.
So she works in the real estate field as well. Like, she has a home ownership workshop that she's doing this Saturday. I think is our testimonium. I can pull up the information in a few minutes. If anybody wants information, you can go on my page or Sharif Small on the Facebook page, and I post it. So they have the key thing is getting educated. Going to a first time home buying workshop and learn about the programs that are available in the city and the county side. Or if you're a government employee, what are the programs and the benefits? And what I tell you, the first step to building wealth is owning your own home. But you got to be in a position to be able to do that. Whether it's a budget, finances, credit, things. And to be honest with you, I've been teaching some of my young students, because I go on college campuses and I teach financial literacy on college campus. And one of the things that I do speaking game is I taught them about buying a multi-unit. That's one of the things I taught them about buying, especially as your first house, because we are familiar with the rich dad, poor dad cash flow culture. You want to own something that's going to bring in cash flow to pay for itself. A lot of people know to buy, a multi-unit, you can buy 2 or 4 units of primary residence. So you live in one, you rent out the other 3, it pays for itself, and extra cash flow coming in.
That's good. So I wanted to. So I know last year. I think it was last year. And council don't talk to Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark. I think she was trying to bring it back, the dollar.
Yeah,
the dollar.
and that would be good.
I need to, because we had. I mean, that whole entire city hall was packed, but I just didn't hear the follow up and the resolution to that. But I think it's very important. To talk about that and even to know if that is something possible.
Well, the key thing
back.
is like 2 programs. You're gonna do it from a home ownership standpoint. You're gonna go do it from an investor standpoint.
Yeah.
So
they have a lot of investors.
Yeah,
too.
they have to understand how they're going to structure that program, which I think is key. So
right.
we can talk more about
that. So listen, this is a lot going on. This is really good. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have our co-host here. But we're going to have more from Sharif Smalls. Thank you for tuning in. If you missed any episodes of the RTV radio show, log on to radioonfire.com/shows and click RTV radio to watch us on demand.
Amen.
Hey. So please tune in. Hello, we are back. Look who joined us.
Peace out.
My brother Juan.
Peace.
We talked about so much.
I know. I heard a little bit on. I heard
you did?
a little bit. I was trying to call in,
You were
but
saying that?
yeah, I was trying to call in.
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
they blocked you.
Yeah, I think I might have been.
I blocked him to say, "Get your boom boom in here."
So I walked in on the conversation about like housing or how to
investment in
investments.
Our
Yes, that's needed.
Just,
first step to building
the
wealth.
Apartment?
Yeah, I was telling people the first step to building wealth is owning your own home. But
Absolutely.
Think about owning your own, but think about possibly buying a multi-unit.
Absolutely.
It brings in cash flow where it pays for
itself and for where you to live at. Yeah, man. So you've been doing your thing. I know. I met Brother Sharif. He did my son's life insurance, right?
Oh wow.
My son was like, I think 102.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, on his mouth. Yeah.
Like 18, 19.
Yeah, he's 16.
16. Oh.
Yeah, it was like it felt like that long. It felt but we knew each other before that. Before he came to my home and did some work.
Crazy.
But yeah, so I appreciate everything that you're doing in the community. So don't you do like? Did you talk about any of the community stuff that he did?
Yeah, we talked about everything.
Okay. No, 'cause I wanted to know when was the next like community event that you have, far as
you came to my. So I do a workshop with the financial literacy for kids. I mean, you came.
Yeah, the one up at what is that, Northern or Northwestern?
It was at Northwestern.
Yeah, which is no longer there anymore.
You already know.
Yeah, so
I told him that I want to link up with you to do something for some financial empowerment. I actually had a
schools, communities.
Yeah, community.
you know what? We need someone that can help the individuals that are receiving grants like to help them really track their funds, because
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of organizations that received grants like myself. And yes, we're doing what we're supposed to do with the money to
So you
empower
talking
our
about your
community.
nonprofit?
Well, no, not my nonprofit. I received a grant to do work in the 21217 area through the B City Recast grant. So a lot of my first cohort, I spoke to several of them, and we all kind of had the same struggle. Yes, we used the money for the right things that we're supposed to use it for, outlining our grant. But as far as tracking it and when it's time to report back, and those things, I think that when you're giving out grants, which we appreciate it to the grassroots organizations, there should be like a financial piece that goes along with it. You know what I mean?
Educational.
And I see that happen a lot. I mean, that's really like just when you start a business, you're focusing more on the work.
Yep.
The front end, getting things done. Sometimes, unfortunately, the back end kind of falls on the wayside until it's time to like report stuff.
Yep.
You know, and then you want to make sure that it's properly reported. So I think that's very important in the beginning when you're starting anything, that there should be a financial aspect, because in the day it's a financial responsibility.
Right. It
Well,
is.
that's what they do for homeowners. Like you have to go to a home buyer.
Yeah, you gotta do a home
seminar or something, and
you gotta do a class. You gotta do a one-on-one session to get those grants. You gotta go through that now because of what happened in 07, 08. People was buying left and right.
Yeah, they was
buying
buying
arms at 400 credit score, and then a couple of years they was losing it.
Right.
And that's the end. So
we definitely have a lot, because we definitely is not a city that doesn't have the resources. I believe we have more than enough.
Oh,
just
yeah.
not,
Do it
just
the
not
right way.
just not the direction to help there.
I would love to do that. Anyway, I can come and do a workshop. I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug you in with Larry Simmons, so you guys can talk to the health department, because I think that would be something great, especially for the next cohort that just about to receive their money. If they can at least have a financial class, or at least get pointed in the right direction, or contract you to do something. Budgeting, how to track your money. Should you hire, like, what is the right time to hire an accountant, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. Because most of the grants was for you to like establish what you're doing. So it was like most of it was towards your salary and building the foundation, but you still have to know where the funds are being allocated back. So when you calculating back at the end of the year, when it's time to do your taxes and stuff like that, you don't have to be scrambling around looking for receipts and all that stuff. So I would love to plug you in with him for that.
What I usually do with my clients is get them to like electronically record that stuff. So getting them set up with QuickBooks, attach the bank account, so any transaction have it already, for the most part, it gets downloaded. We just make sure it gets recorded in the right way. And then doing more things to the next level, like I use Google Drive. So also like a
Google.
Yeah.
Can you say it again for him?
Google Drive.
Google Drive.
Because he gets all the messages and
but it's a lot of emails, man. I'm old school.
So
we have to do
I'll
this.
create like a file so where my clients can actually put this, their receipts and everything, and I can actually electronically pull their files, and that file is shared between me and that client.
Nice.
So everything has to be done electronically now, manually. Throwing stuff away, putting in the shoebox.
It's not what's up no more.
Well, 30 days later, you don't know what you bought because the receipt looked like a horse.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's true.
Away,
so how do you feel about Cash App and all that stuff? Because there's been a lot of stuff going on with Cash App.
Cash App is cool. You should be able to still get your report and everything. So you got Cash App, you have Square, you have PayPal. I mean, you're able to use all of them, but again, you still want to have it tied to your QuickBooks, to your bank account, because when those deposits still come in, it still shows up in QuickBooks. You want to make sure that it gets properly recorded, and then also when stuff comes out, it got to be categorized so you know how much you spend, and also where the money is going. For your operations, you got operational expenses, but then you got specific expenses for particular programs.
Right.
So you got to know how much you're spending on each program.
Right. Exactly.
That's the key thing right now. And I do that with a lot of my nonprofits. You got your operation, which is salary and staff, but then you got your specific programs that you spend on, because sometimes you have funding coming in just for a specific program that is restricted.
Yeah, true.
So you got to be able to, because you have a donor each, they may want a report. You got to be able to give them that report.
Right away. You don't have to be like, yo, can I get it to you next week? Right.
Even like when you have a business, you want your business to grow. You want to get a business loan, you want to get a business line of credit, or you want to get certifications, get your MBE. They're going to require those financial documents, your profit loss statements, your balance sheets, year to date. They're going to require all that stuff to be able to move forward. And unfortunately, I see where a lot of minorities doesn't get to that next level because getting front end, but don't take care of the back end.
Yeah, true. I mean, I was just about to ask you that. Like, so when do you think it's important for like a small business to get an accountant, two, a financial advisor? Because you're a financial firm.
So we do both. So we're a tax accountant and financial planner. I recommend the sooner the better. Like before you even think about starting a business, sit down with someone. I'm being honest with you.
Right.
You know,
some people think they can't afford it. Is it like super expensive? Like that's one thing I know a lot of people be discouraged on.
I mean, I try to work with people as much as possible. So I would try to tell people that at the end of the day, you know, make that the least of your concern. The key thing is to put you in a position.
You don't want to get into debt.
Right, exactly. I'm about to say.
Trying to take the cheap way.
Yeah. Right, absolutely.
I do charge my time for my, not for my, but for our service.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, I don't charge for people to set up an initial conversation to sit down. We don't work as an attorney and a lawyer.
Right.
You know, we sit down with people and find out what they are, we learn what the cost is, then we can work out a payment plan, work out something. And then we work with people. As long as they communicate, say, hey, we got this, we can do this, we can do that.
As long as they're transparent. You always been like that. That's one thing I can always say. Yes. You always been that way. Like you always been community first, and everything else falls in line afterwards. You've been like that from the beginning.
Because you don't have, you know, I've had clients where we started doing it for them, and then the funds came in later and
paid you on the back end.
As long as we know that we're working with someone that's really true to that word, and they're already doing the good work and stuff, and we know that it's going to come in. We know we'll work with them.
That's what I'm talking about. I know all this. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm mad I was late. Cause I'm really like, this was important to me. Like I was like, yo, my financial guru's gonna be here today. Like,
I remember when you got started with your business, man. I wanted to come and check you out. And support your business.
I need to sit down with you. That's a whole nother topic. Like I'm moving and shaking in good directions, but like you said, that back end is definitely starting to catch up with your boy.
I mean, accounts our goal is is try to bring in that structure as much as possible, so
because it's all about it's all about systems. It's all about systems.
System principles in play. You know what's coming. It's got to know where it's supposed to go at.
Right.
That's the key.
That's what's up.
Now at your grand opening, because I just tagged him in this, but at your grand opening, I met Justin.
Yes.
You know, he's coming on too next month.
It's a Shaw's Covenant.
He spoke very highly of you, and
out of the spirit.
Yes. I was gonna say since I've been on there, I was like, I sent him a friend request, and then I was like, wow, he is full of stuff too. So these are great people to link up with.
Have your team strong.
It's funny. I know he got married last year. A couple months ago, and I actually met him at a home ownership workshop.
Oh wow!
My wife was a part of a home ownership workshop, and I kept going to the tail end and catching them. To be honest, we just talked about our faith first. And with the man upstairs, I think that was the most important connection. But he also said he needed a accountant too, because he said he had a business. Yeah, it's growing. He needs some help and assistance.
I looked at his website. I mean his Facebook page.
Brother.
I was like, wow, the suits and wow. So anyway, I think networking and connecting. Like I wouldn't have even met him if I didn't come. So we got to make sure that like as we said, support one another, but also knowing that it's all about networking. It's all about building, like we talk about all the time, building one another.
And leveraging our relationships. I think we're really going to make some change. We got to work together.
We have to work together.
Empower each other. Other nationalities do it all
the time.
We're the only ones that don't get it.
But when they do it, they own stuff too. Let's keep real.
So they can.
There's a little Chinese spot right there. I think I went and got some Chinese food. I think it was like last week or something. Or me and my wife would get Chinese food. As soon as I go in to pay, guess who's the person that's, I'm doing the exchange with? It's the daughter. Like they have it with their kids and their grandkids are working in there. And what people don't know, at age 7, you can put your kids in your own business and hire them. Age 7, a lot of people don't know.
Come on, Winter.
So age 7.
So family business, a lot of people. So if it's anybody else's kids, it's 14.
14.
If your kids is age 7. There's an exemption. So why you want to do this? Again, instead of paying
break it down, bro.
Instead of paying them allowances, you pay them wages and it's tax deductible to your business.
Damn, did you hear that? That's what I'm talking about.
This is how you pass on the generational.
Yes, that's
what I'm talking
about.
Put them
in. I'm saying.
Put them to work. Age 7, they can start working.
So what about nieces and nephews? They don't care.
Same thing. So it's nieces, nephews, and your kids. Cousins, yeah. So nieces, nephew, and kid, because it's a family.
Yeah, family. Yeah.
So you can hire your aunt, your niece and nephew, your brother and sister. Put them right in the business.
Definitely do that.
Put them on payroll. And the thing is, things done changed now. It's called the Trump taxes. You can pay your kids up to $12,000. You don't have to hold on federal, state, social care, Medicare taxes. Still claim on your tax return. Still claim on your tax return.
See, that's what
I need to make an appointment with you.
You gotta go see the guru.
A lot of people don't know that.
No, a lot of people don't know that because they tell us 14. They told us 14 with the youth I'm working with.
Other nationalities, they have their kids working in the shop, age 8, 9, 10 years old, working in that because it's a family business. When you have a family business, 87 is the earliest you can put your kids.
Wow.
And then this is you take it to the next level. You start with something called a Roth IRA for your kids. So the money that you make, they get to save, they get to invest that money. And from age 7, the key thing, you expose them to investments.
Right,
stocks,
yeah, about
bonds.
to say, yeah.
That's
the mind
thing. They get to
I
age
was gonna
18.
say they already have that. Mindset.
So then when they get to age 18, they got money for college. You need money in the Roth IRA for college.
Man,
They don't go to college. The first $10,000 down payment on a house. Give them the house last year. That's how you transfer wealth.
That is. Yeah, that's what I was telling my son. Like I said, man, I want to put you in a position where when you finish high school or college or whatever you decide to do, you purchasing. You ain't renting nothing. You know what I mean? If you don't want to have a whole house, we're gonna get some multi-unit. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's the mindset. Like
and we gotta expose our kids to stuff like this. When you expose them to something different, I always tell people they do different.
They will.
Like I always tell people the first person I worked for was my aunt. She owned she was an English teacher, but she did Mary Kay. But then she owned a ceramic shop. She owned a ceramic shop. She owned the building.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a mixed use property. So me and my twin, we was working in there. We would collect the ceramics. We would do the register, do the register, collect the money and things of that nature. And then we would go up and collect the money, come back down and count it right in front of them. Right. So at age 9 or 10, I was being exposed to this. When the last thing we thought about was selling drugs and things like that, because we exposed to someone that was a small business owner, getting money in a legal way. So that's why I bought my building, right? Because I saw my aunt do it 20 years ago.
So you own the building?
I bought it. I didn't rent. I bought it, bro. Come on now, man. I bought the building. That was important to me because again, I was exposed to that. My aunt did it. My dad was part of that. And I want to
let everyone know where you're located.
Where is you about to say, yo?
That's power right. He's down the street.
Yo, that's power right there, B. It ain't easy to buy one of them buildings.
No, it's not. 342 East 25th Street. It's a 2 unit. I actually got this whole upstairs that's available for an office space. So if any business is looking for office space, it's available. I'm renting it out.
I'm talking about. Little campaign headquarters.
Restoring the village. Campaign.
Yes.
So listen, I do want to say I'm looking at some of the comments on here. There is one that I do want to read. You kind of talked about it, but if you can elaborate for her, that would be great. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in or who's commenting. Erica Jernigan, she says, "Do you?"
Oh, I know her.
I know you know her. That's my sister. Do you host open houses or workshops for small business owners to discuss the importance of having an accountant?
Yeah, that's what I want.
So we've done starting a business workshops where it's on like different so from financing. So I'll have a piece where I'll talk about the accounting, the bookkeeping and things of that nature. I do have another workshop coming up. It's going to be over the summertime. We're going to do a small business lending workshop. Because before you can get funding, you got to have your books and your stuff in order. So it'll be a portion of it that'll be geared towards that.
Okay.
So yes, we do have that. We do have another one coming this summer.
Okay.
And she's been to some of my workshops as well. So, and she's doing great stuff with her business.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I own the whole building. That's what I'm talking about.
She is right there with us. So I'm very I'm very thankful for Erica. And again, thank you everyone who's tuning in. And yeah, look at that. Look, I'm just trying to make sure. Some of it was I asked about it already. Another one saying truth. Okay, she said okay, perfect. So she's definitely still tuning in. So that's definitely good. Yeah. So listen, make sure you all continue to share this because even if they cannot look at it now, you can always view it. It's always going to be on our YouTube page as well. So this is some great empowerment that we need to make sure trickles down to our communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
ownership.
Yeah.
So that's power right there.
Like
You're
I
buying that
said.
building. that's
7-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My baby have 2 years.
Yeah. Put them
Two
on
and a half
payroll.
years.
I'm telling you.
Man, I wish I
Put
could
on
back.
the
I wish I could
payroll.
back right my
Yeah.
son.
I'm
Yeah,
serious.
Put on a payroll, so that is really good.
Yeah.
You learn something new every
Yeah,
single
that's
day.
right.
absolutely.
Now,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna
No,
say, what do you have coming up? Are you gonna try the politics again, or you just gonna
well,
let
right now,
it
just doing the treasure for
you know, I gotta
Marilyn
ask that
Mosby.
question. Yeah, I gotta talk about that too, but we'll talk about it later.
So right now, just helping out Marilyn with her campaign and stuff. I may throw plan
This is
on
campaign for the state's
for state's attorney.
I was just
Yeah.
making sure nothing else going on.
Future plan on possibly in the future running for
Yeah.
a state delegate.
Okay, all right.
That's in the future works in the plans. When we'll see.
Okay.
But on that end, yeah, that'll probably be that's in the works sometime in the future.
Yeah, I
That's
think,
what's
I
up.
think you would be
Yeah,
great.
I
Yeah,
think
not doing city council again. I'm gonna leave that at.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Now, what was
leave that to her. That's a rough one.
No, he was there already. You know, I
I ran
get
for it
there
at
yet.
15. What was it? Yeah, 15. You know where I'm at. You know,
I did vote for you too. Just to
I
let you know.
appreciate it, man. It's you know, it's a challenge. Hey, well, number one, it was a lot of people running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
lot
believe
of
in mine. It would be a lot.
Yeah, it'd be good because you know we can try to work together and decide on the best candidate, which I think is key. And the end of the day, I always tell people, whoever win, it's about the people, not the position.
Right,
So
exactly.
when I lost, like was I disappointed, but I wasn't hurt when he sad because at the end of the day, the work still has to continue.
The work still
You
continues.
still gotta do- So the first thing I did, I reached out to the councilman beside yourself and said, hey, is there anything that I can do that can help out with what's going on within the community? Use me as a resource, let me know. When I do events, I reach out to them because I need his help and his resources.
Yeah,
and
we need
services.
each other.
And he has helped me, help me out. Anytime I reach out to him, he responds back.
Yeah.
And he needs help out because again, it's about the work and
Yeah,
it's
it
about
is.
the
It's not about the title. It's
no,
about the work.
it's about the people. So I was ready to just continue to keep on going anyway.
That displays
that's
a
what
great leader
Yeah,
in you.
yeah, that's what it's about. So yeah, we just have to empower our people. We're just a lot that we're not getting, that we're not understanding, and this STEM program, cybersecurity, Intel, we gotta expose our kids to these type of jobs, and then also expose our kids to entrepreneurship some more too. I know Omar Muhammad, he runs a good program with his wife, entrepreneurship for kids. Joni,
I was gonna say Joni was just here last week.
And
Did
she's
you
one of
see
my,
our picture?
yeah, I did. She's one of my clients.
Yeah.
So
I'm working with her. I'm about to start working with a lot of her youth.
great stuff with kids in the community. She has a program at Falls Park, my alma mater.
Yeah.
She teaches kids on entrepreneurship. We just have to expose our kids to something different. Like
Right.
I was raised by a single dad, me and my twin. You know what I'm saying, in the Park Heights. And it was a challenge for my dad, but my dad really exposed us to different things. And my dad was a math teacher, so we had to do workbooks all year long. And then
So you just had it. You
Yeah.
couldn't get away
Yeah,
from it.
Nah. And he,
That's what's up. He taught you the greatest gift right there.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
education really starts at the home.
At
We
home.
just gotta work together and build these villages together. But it takes us. Like we really gotta reach back and
Yeah,
get into.
Every time I
Absolutely.
hear the word village or
Yeah.
villagers or village,
It's important though.
It is.
We have to.
Yeah.
Like for me, I wanted to stay within the city because of course it's where I'm from. I feel like that's where my work is needed. Is needed the most. That's where I bought my house at. So I definitely wanted to be in the community and be in the neighborhood and be of help and be of be of assistance. But it's 2019, and again, as I say, the lack of what we have in our communities is disheartening. And that's why I had my Wealth Diversity Summit. I used to have that. You should at the Red Jeff Lewis Museum. Like, just think of Red Jeff Lewis.
Right. Yeah, if you read
He's
it,
the first African American to build a billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah, all the white guys got here all the
Nav
fun.
Johnson, he was the first one. So I thought it was important to have that where we talk about socioeconomics, poverty, equality, so the factors from achieving, because there's a lot of factors that comes into it. Education, political incarceration, unemployment, home ownership. There's a lot of factors that come into it.
Education.
Yeah, all of it
What?
comes in it. So we talk about these issues, but what are the solutions out there?
Right.
What are the
Yeah.
things
Get
that
to
we
the
can,
roots of the issue
we
so
can
we
do
can start
to
there.
it? And to do it. So I'm hoping this year, within the next year or two, we really can come together and really try to affect real change. Because there's a lot of people doing the work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
it
a
It's
is.
lot.
just how can we do it together, and how
Lucky,
we're going to
yeah.
get rid of these boarded up houses, how we're going to improve our
Yeah.
school system.
Right.
And seriously do it,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just talking because it's election time or.
I mean, hey,
you know.
you know my feelings on
Because
that
change is
stuff.
coming.
Oh yes,
Oh, it's
it
definitely,
is.
You
whether
see
we
it's
like it or
coming.
not, whether we like it or
Yeah,
not, it's
and
coming.
gentrification may come too. We don't own stuff.
Yeah.
Because if we
exactly.
don't own stuff, I mean, they just gonna come in and buy it up, and we still ain't gonna own anything. It's gonna be like DC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at DC. You can't afford to live on the street in DC.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No,
So
you
are you like training any young brothers like up underneath you in the financial world right now? Like
Yeah,
any
so-
like current college
One-
students or high school students?
So with our summer program that we have this summer, and where we go to different schools, college campuses. So from Towson, my alma mater, Morgan, and things of that nature. So when I go on these campuses, I talked about the importance of planning for their financial future, but also thinking about a career in the financial planning and accounting as well. And with my nonprofit, one of the programs that we have is training college students on the basis of financial planning, but them to go into the school system and teaching that to high school, middle, elementary school kids. So number one, they understand the importance of financial planning because you go from being an intern or being in college, and now you got a full-time job. You got to pay back student loans. You got to think about you're going to buy a car now, where you're going to live at, buy a house, stay at home, picking benefits, educational, well, not educational, but retirement benefits, insurance benefits. So what I try to do is expose our young people in college about financial planning, teach it to the kids, but now they're building experience in teaching and learning. And I'm getting more and more of college students that have an interest in being a financial planner, financial getting advisor, because we're lacking in that field. I get when I go and have to get continuing education credits. For the most part, I don't see that many people that look like me when it comes to that, especially in the financial planning field. I'm usually the only black person or black and young person, and a lot of times I have a problem.
Yeah, that's what Ike Carter told me. Like he said, he's going to do the same thing. Like, he's going after CFP right now.
Yeah. So we try to teach, our college students to get the experience teaching our younger people, and that gets them into wanting to get into the field as well. So that's a summer program that we have, and hopefully we can do that, through the whole year.
So are you getting any youth workers from Youth Works this year?
Yeah. So I have two this summer I have two that we did the application. So I'm hoping that we can get two this summer that can come work for us.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I participated in Youth Works last year. It was a pretty dope program. I just wish that only thing I wish they did a little different is I wish that I like how they paid its students, but I wish they didn't have to wait like 3 weeks, like 4 weeks. Like that's just a lot to ask for somebody to wait 4 weeks.
They have where the city can do it, or then you can kind of do it yourself. I think it's like 2 ways you can go at what I'm doing, but ideally they want you to do it through the city.
Yeah, they want to do the city. Yeah. That's how I did it.
We started doing last year, but then we didn't want to finish and do it because there was just things that just didn't come into place. But we definitely plan on doing it this year.
Yeah, because they said it was like an overwhelming amount of youth, but not a lot of businesses participated last year. So I participated with Pushing the Vision and Langston Hughes Business Resource Center last year.
My girl
Pam, so I participated with them last year, and we had about maybe 6 to 10 youth, and it was a very powerful experience. But they had a financial piece.
It's supposed to be,
but it wasn't. It was really like.
Well, what I've been reaching out to them is helping them out with that.
Yeah,
you can have it, but it got to be effective.
Yeah, it got to be, and it got to be broken down to something that they're gonna be interested in. You know what I mean?
I was part of the interest meeting in that.
Okay.
But then they decided to go down a route and do it, which I mean, long as I
cool.
understand they did something, but a lot of times you want to find. I like to use the Rich Dad Poor Dad cash flow quadrant with financial. Literacy for kids and young adults. It's something that's more real life when it comes down to it. So I'm hoping, I can be a part of that sometime, in the future, be a part of that program.
Well, they need to make you part of that program.
Life to it. Bring some more life to it. Yeah.
Because you never know, like the right person standing in front of those youth, especially when you got their attention, we may be looking at the next financial planner or the next person that might want to be a math teacher or an accountant or have an interest in finance or investments or something like that. But they don't know. You know what I mean?
You got to build that pipeline. Like I have 2 college students from Towson that work for me right now. So I always have at least college students on the intern that always work for me. They get the experience. One is paid and that was the other non-paid because they get college credit.
Right. That's That's what's
right.
up.
But then they also got to volunteer as well. You're not just gonna work for me, but they volunteer to learn about, and then they go into the schools and they actually teach. We got to get financial literacy in our school system, so we have to get in because it's not overall mandated as much as it should be. So I try to take the responsibility to make sure we do it.
And then understanding money will help the kids have a better understanding of mathematics.
And everything involved.
For real. Yeah, my goal is to kind of add it with the STEM, with the financial literacy STEM program. So I'm working on that type of program as well. We can kind of add that. Because that's where our culture is going.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
I was gonna say everything involves money, math, and unfortunately, they're not getting everything they need in the school system. So look, I know that our whole hour can go back so fast.
Oh, did it go by?
Yes, almost. But I want.
That's because Brother Nancy got
here. Bring them back, or we have to. Like I said, we have to do this kind of a workshop.
Yeah,
that we can kind of pull together and do.
Absolutely.
So that'll be great.
Because I definitely, as a small business owner, I could definitely use that type of support. And I know there's plenty of other business owners. And one thing that, you want to do business with people that you trust and know. You know what I mean? So this brother has a stand-up reputation. You know what I mean?
Like, hard time trusting people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of business owners hoard their stuff and be trying to.
Brother Nance, no.
Yeah, it's for real.
So, Sharif, thank you for coming on the show.
Sorry I was late, bro.
It's all good. I'm here with my brother and sister. I appreciate
no comment to him. As we almost end, I just want you to just one more time let everyone know how they can contact you and where you're located.
So, yeah, I'm on 342 East 25th Street. Right here in Baltimore. SJSFinancialFirm.com is our website. You can go and find us on Instagram, on Facebook. Also, you can just type in my first and last name, Sharif J. Small. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature. So I just want to thank y'all for having me on this show. I really appreciate it. And I'm just proud of the great things that y'all doing. So any way I can be a part of it, y'all just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, brother. And again, sorry I'm late, man, because I definitely want to be on time. You know what I mean? For you, especially.
Good,
you know what I mean? So I got juice for you in the car, by the way.
Appreciate
That's
it, my
how
brother.
He gets you. Like I'll give him that look, and then he have the palm mango. So
that's always the smooth over.
Come back down and see you, man.
Yeah,
support you too, man.
So look, as you see, and I started in the beginning, March Madness, we have a whole load of great people that will be coming on that we're going to be spotlighting.
Did a good job with that too. Did a good job.
That we're going to be spotlighting. Next week we're going to have Gladys McKinney, go by Peaches, that's what I say. But she is an author. She has a great story behind her book. And we're going to make sure that we listen to her and that she will continue to empower us. She's doing some great things in the community, a dancer, author, and so many other things. So thank you all for tuning in, for sharing, for always being supportive. Thank you, Sharif, for being our special guest. Thank you, my co-host, for just being such an awesome person. And I need my palm mango for being late. But thank y'all for tuning in each and every Tuesday, 6:15.
Make sure you tell the people to vote, too, for you.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Last week I made my announcement running for city council in the 4th district.
That's right.
And thank you in advance for everyone who's going to support, and thank you for everyone who's already contributed to the campaign.
I'm also talking about your Baltimore's best vote.
Oh, and Baltimore best, but we have to go. So yes, thank you all for tuning in. See you all next week, same time, same place.
Peace and health.
Peace and health.
Peace and health and wealth.